crocodile.
Easy, chums. If I was here to fight, you'd be Cactus.
He's with me. Found him lost out there. Caught him up on the whole time-space, you know, thing.
Yeah, just trying to get home. I was enjoying the retired life, see?
Got it. Our bad guys had a change of heart, too.
Bad guy?
Silence, Wilt. But, sir! You try my patience, Oxide. But, no. I'm sure this insect knows how to obey an order.
Entropy!
Take your ship to planet Bermugula and be on the lookout for ships approaching the rift generator. We can't afford any unwanted visitors.
At once, your foulness.
You manage our affairs with such poise.
Naturally, as do you. Ah.
Barf.
Crash Bandicoot 4 walkthrough, so we have now been introduced to the next boss of the game. So not quite the final boss, but we are getting there. And we're also going to be getting to the serious points where any mistakes you will be making are really going to come back to bite you with an immediate death. So we're going to immediately start off with the mask that lets you swap gravity up and down, and we're going to be introduced to a couple of things that we're going to be dealing with the rest of this level and later levels. And that's going to be some of those electro things, and also just having to jump up and down all the time on some of these platforms. So just kind of get used to doing that, get used to the controls. It's a little bit weird playing around on the ceiling instead of the ground, but the controls are pretty much the same, and I think you'll get used to it pretty easily. There's these 2 nitro boxes that can be avoided as long as you don't high jump on these boxes. If you just normal jump and then don't touch your controller, you'll be fine. And then once we come over here, I think we lose the gravity thing, and there's going to be these boxes jumping on boxes. For some annoying reason, if you hit the bottom of boxes, it doesn't matter like where they are, if like you jump up into them and you hit the bottom of them, they're going to kill you. So you have to make sure that you don't hit those falling boxes at all. I don't really know why it's done that way. I think that's a little bit ridiculous, but hey. We're also going to be running into more of these wall runs, and we've done these before, but now it's going to get a lot worse in terms of timing. So there's kind of a weird delay that you'll feel, and you can also hear it on the speakers with Crash when he's on those wall when he's on these wall runs. You can kind of see, especially in the video, he'll start slipping right about there. He kind of starts slipping down, and it makes a noise with his sneakers squeaking. And you get used to it as you play more, but early on it's kind of challenging. I thought it was anyway, trying to get used to jumping off at the right time. In this level, it's not as big of a deal as it's going to be in later levels. But really, you're going to have to make sure that you don't jump too early or you won't make the next wall, and you don't want to jump too late or you'll just fall off. So it's a very strange timing that you'll have to get used to, as well as these sections where we will be using the gravity tiki thing to move around these laser beams or these electric beams. And we can use them to kind of go up and down onto these platforms, but you don't really get a whole lot of leeway when you're using them because or when you're trying to switch the gravity, because if you fall too quickly and then you switch gravity, it's gotta stop your momentum and then reverse you and then send you the way you want to go. So if you think that you can just reverse gravity whenever you want, that almost never works. And it's something that's going to be really hard to show on video, but if you play this game, and if you have played it, you'll definitely know what I'm talking about. So I guess I'll talk more about that when it applies later. There's going to be one rail sequence here that I think I immediately died on because no, not that one. Okay, spoiler alert, I do die in one of those later on. That one wasn't too hard. There's going to be another wall running sequence here, which is kind of annoying because the cameras are really bad, and then even here you can't really see ahead of you. Just know that there's TNT, and you're probably going to hit them, and then you're going to have to jump from wall to wall here. And there's going to be the gravity tiki guy again, and we'll just want to make sure that we jump through most of these blocks and try to jump into those electro enemies that are electrifying the whole wall around them. If you jump into the center of them and then hit them, you should be able to kill them pretty easily. Then there's more walls here that are kind of like what I was talking about earlier. You got to be careful about your jumping off of those, and then a UFO guy who is annoyingly blocking the checkpoints. You can kind of go around him, you don't really have to kill him. It's So here's where I think I died, because I stayed on the bottom here because you have to swing over, and I pushed the button and did not get on top. The timing on these rails is pretty specific too. It doesn't look like it in the video, but you really don't have as much time as you think you do to move around on these. So finally got it that time. I just pushed the button a lot sooner. You want to wait for these guys to shoot you before you go after them, because otherwise you might spin into their bullets, and they have a little bit of a delay after they attack you. And after that UFO, there'll be another guy on the wall, so we'll just kind of wait for him to shoot. So we're gonna go grab the checkpoint, and then I'm actually gonna do the bonus level for this level. So this is gonna be the one of two that I show, and I completely finished this just because I was so proud of actually finally doing this level. I think it took me like an hour. And the way I found was to blow up those two boxes and then gravitation your way onto those ones so you can ground pound them, and then try to double jump over here, hit the TNT, and then jump back over to the left, wait for the TNT to blow up, and then we're gonna try to head on over to the right side here. Watch out for the electro thing, hit the TNT, and then we will head on over to the other side of this platform. You can also head to the right if you want to. And if you notice, there's a lot of nitro boxes. We'll be blowing those up, and if they are next to other boxes, then when we blow up the nitro, they'll blow up those other boxes too. So I missed some boxes, not really a big deal. And we hit that block to reveal the missing blocks that were, or the missing boxes that were at the beginning of the level. And then we need to come over here. You can make this jump, or just use the gravity. I think you can dash jump to get up there. And we'll need to come up here again so we can actually blow up this heart box. And then we can blow up, or we can jump on these 4 boxes here. And once we hit the final exclamation block, that should blow up all the other boxes, because the rest of them are nitro. Some of them were not nitro, but they're next to nitro, so they get hit too. And finally, this level, actually, this bonus level will be dang completed. I mean, right there, missing 1 box, which is the one I have here. I hit that just to be sure. And we're done. Sweet relief. Oh man. Okay, so I'm going to be doing that to one other level in the future, but I'm going to be skipping all the other ones. I tell you, those bonus levels are incredibly hard sometimes. Okay, so here, this guy and a lot of these other guys will be very gun happy. So again, do your best to make sure that they are not hitting you, or not shooting you when you're jumping into them. Wait for them if you can. Watch out for the nitros, and this part took me a couple of tries too. That one was just a little bit luck. Sometimes that guy on the bottom will shoot you, sometimes he won't. For this guy, he will shoot the wall, and I was just waiting for him to do that before I attacked him. That guy will sometimes blow up the nitro, and I think I was waiting for him to blow up the nitro. Maybe not. Okay, there we go. And then with this guy, we can jump on the UFO and get the dang checkpoint. So that's over with. Thank goodness. And I've died 19 times in this level so far, so yeah, this is not an easy one. And I'm getting pretty close to the point where I turn off lives, because I'm just starting to bleed through them like crazy. Okay, so this guy will electrify all the walls around us, as I've said before. Just jump into him in the middle and try to spin. Avoid this gun guy, let him shoot you first. Same with that guy in the background. Really, just at this point in the game, go slow. Do not rush. Just take your time. And sometimes, you know, you think, I don't want to do that part again, I'll get through it really fast, but then you die and you have to do it again anyway. Just take your time and, you know, go as slow as you need. Let the enemies do their thing first, and then we'll be here without a checkpoint. We don't actually have another checkpoint yet, but I think one does spawn here if you die too many times, so... I was really, like, shocked there wasn't a checkpoint here by default. So we just gotta be careful about the railing. I messed up the controls there. Had Aku help me out. Doesn't matter. We're at the end of the level. Good riddance.